Hello, this is Erin Jentz, web editor for the National Provisioner. I'm joined by Hank Lambert, CEO of PURE Bioscience, a company dedicated to food safety in homes and quick service restaurants. Hello, Hank. How are you?
Great, Erin. How are you?
Good. Now, with the Super Bowl right around the corner, millions of Americans will be hosting watch parties with plenty of food around. With that comes some food safety issues. While party hosts should definitely be cautious, what can meat and poultry processors do to help the end user in terms of food safety?
My view is that they should continue to do what they've always done and always do is to follow their most rigorous food safety practices and produce food to the highest possible standards in terms of food safety and quality. And just because it's a Super Bowl doesn't mean that they should do anything differently or more rigorously enforce those processes. I'm sure they're all producing their food to be as safe as possible and to the highest quality. So they should definitely continue to do that and not make any adjustments to that just because of Super Bowl.
Now, some of these same processors are sure to be party hosts for this Super Bowl Sunday. How can hosts keep their food safe?
Again, I think following good food handling and food preparation practices, which they should be doing every day in terms of preparing meals for their families or for parties, those good food handling and preparation practices really don't change just because it's Super Bowl, but the basic things should be rigorously followed, given that you're going to be feeding more people than perhaps you normally do in your family. But certainly it starts with good hand washing, ensuring that you're using soap and water for at least 20 seconds to achieve proper sanitation of your hands before, during, and after handling food. It's been shown that proper hand washing can eliminate about half the risk of transmitting a foodborne illness risk through the handling of food. So first and foremost would be ensuring proper hand washing, ensuring that the surfaces that you're preparing your food on are properly cleaned and disinfected to avoid cross-contamination. So if you're preparing chicken wings, for example, on a kitchen counter, and you finish preparing the chicken wings, ensure that you sanitize and disinfect that surface before putting another food item on that surface, whether it's vegetables or bread or whatever it might be. Ensure that you're always working on a clean, sanitized surface. Separating raw and cooked food, and this really starts at the grocery store when you're doing your shopping for your party. Ensure that if you're buying raw poultry or meats, that they are kept in separate bags from the other food in your grocery basket. And if you're buying raw vegetables, they should also be in separate bags. You don't want the transference of any juice or moisture from poultry to vegetables, for example, or poultry to other items in your grocery basket where there could be cross-contamination. So keeping food separate when you're shopping, and then also when you get home in the refrigerator or on your counter, again, keep it separate in separate containers or bags to avoid cross-contamination. Cooking thoroughly is obviously key when you're preparing your food. Poultry items, those chicken wings, need to be cooked to an internal temperature of 165 degrees to ensure that any pathogens or bacteria that might be on the raw chicken are killed during the cooking process. Seafood needs to be cooked to an internal temperature of 145, and there are different temperatures for all types of commodities. Keeping the food at safe temperatures is critical all the time, but particularly if you're having a long, extended party. The danger zone for bacteria growth is between 40 degrees and 140 degrees, so be sure that your refrigerator is set at 40 degrees or less and that you're cooking all your food to at least 140 degrees. And then for an extended party like the Super Bowl, you shouldn't leave food out for more than 2 hours because, again, that's kind of the time frame and the temperature zone, room temperature for 2 hours or more when bacteria could really start to grow and accelerate. So that's important for a party like the Super Bowl. But I guess those would be the main things. And, again, it's pretty much common sense, good food handling preparation practices should be particularly rigorously followed for an event like the Super Bowl where you're going to have food out, preparing lots of food for extended periods of time.
Now, which traditional Super Bowl foods are the most prone to foodborne illnesses, and should party hosts be paying more attention to?
Well, I guess certainly any poultry products, so chicken wings or chicken tenders, things like that, really need to make sure that they're cooked to the proper temperature, because it is known that the presence of salmonella on raw poultry is an issue, and to ensure that doesn't carry through to the finished product, needs to be cleaned and cooked properly to eliminate that risk. Certainly raw vegetables need to be properly washed prior to serving. Vegetables, leafy greens, other produce items are sources of foodborne pathogens, so good washing can ensure that that risk is minimized. Those are probably a couple of the key items that should be paid particular attention to.
All right, Hank Lambert, CEO of PURE Bioscience, thank you so much for joining me.